Hi students, once again jumping on really quickly because I want to talk about a couple things. The first is that I am running behind on grading, as you probably noticed. So I'm working hard to catch up with grading this week's speeches, this week's quizzes, and this week's discussions. If you are waiting for a grade from week one, maybe because your speech didn't come through correctly and so you had to re-upload it, I'm going to be grading those after I've caught up with week two. So hang in there, I will get to it. I'm sorry that I'm running late, but I'm really trying hard to catch up. Second thing is this week we are working on outlining, and I'm going to do a video at some point this week, I'm not sure when, about outlining and go through the outline with you, and then I'll talk about the step up in case you want to be adventurous and go with a motivational outline rather than your basic outline. But for now, I want you to start thinking about what you're going to speak about for your persuasive speech, which is next week, and that's what you're going to be doing the outline for this week. So just to recap, you will be doing an outline this week, and this outline is the basic format for your persuasive speech, which is due next week. So right now you should be thinking about topics that you want to talk about for persuading your audience. And I want you to think about who is in your audience. So in this case, again, we're supposed to be pretending that we're in a classroom, so your speeches are being delivered to your fellow students. So people similar to you, quite diverse backgrounds, quite diverse cultures. We even have people in various countries around the world watching your, or maybe not watching your speeches, depends on whether you have them public or private. But they are the people that are in your class. So those are the people that you're talking to. I want to point out a few speeches I really truly recommend that you avoid. And these topics that I'm telling you to avoid are not because of my own personal political viewpoint. I really try to be very unbiased and straight when I'm thinking about your topics and what you're talking about. But I want you to avoid the hot button topics. And by that I mean those topics that are quite frequently argued very heavily. Things like immigration, pro-choice, pro-life, gun control or gun choice, anything that comes up a lot in political debates, because these are the topics that people have chosen in this class for the last 20 years. I've been teaching this class for 20 years, both on campus at various different universities and online for the last, I'd say probably 7 or 8 years or so. So I have heard both sides of these arguments time and time again. And the reason I'm telling you that you should probably avoid these topics is not because I have my opinions, which of course I do, but I try so hard not to bring my opinion in when I'm watching anybody else's speech. But I know the holes that are in these arguments. I see one side of the argument and then I see the other side of the argument. So I know that this side, if they don't admit to something that I know is true on this side, I'm going to recognize it. And I don't want you to make your life any more difficult. So why choose a topic that I know I'm going to be looking for the holes? So pick something that is a little more personal to you. And personally, I would recommend you choose something that will be useful to you in the future. My dog is shaking. So an example of that might be, let's say you want to go into, you're an aviation student and you would like to become a helicopter pilot. Maybe you could talk about how people can use helicopters for their transportation. I know that there's some private flights that you can do as a helicopter pilot, and you could talk about that. Or you could talk about how it's important to make sure that your insurance policy you choose has a Medivac option, so that if you travel a lot, you can always get reassigned medically if you have any kind of emergency to the nearest hospital that you would trust, something like that. An alternative medicine student, maybe you'd want to think about how maybe you should check your insurance policy and choose an insurance policy that accepts alternative medicine doctors. Um, Anything that would be personal to you that may be beneficial in your future. Or you could look at classes that you may take in your future and think about the speech that you would have to put together for that class. And so, why not take the opportunity to get feedback now? That's only going to benefit you in your future class or your future career. So that's my quick spiel about topic choices. Again, you're going to be doing your outline for your motivational speech. Your motivational speech is due next week. Your outline is due this week. And I will come back to you with a quick overview of how to put together an outline. And I will talk a little bit. I know I've already talked to you about how to cite sources within your speech and how to put them in your paper. So if you want to go back and look on the home page for videos that I've done already for this class, you can see that. But I will touch on that in my next video. I hope you're enjoying the class. If you want to hear anything in particular from me, please let me know. You can put it in the discussions in the Ask Questions box. I have had a few emails where people have asked me questions, and I've luckily already covered that topic just that morning in the video, so that was good. But if you have any questions that I'm not covering that you really want to know about, please let me know. And if I'm not giving you clear enough feedback in your gradebook, or if you're not reading the feedback that's in your gradebook, make sure to do that. But if you want more feedback, if it's not clear enough, or if you lost points, a few people I've noticed already this week didn't cite any sources in their speech. And so if you look at the grading rubric, you'll see you lose an automatic 10 points for that. So that's a big deal. Make sure that you look at the grading rubric to see what you're losing points for. But if you're not clear on it, let me know. That's about it for this week, or for this lecture. I will talk to you soon, and I look forward to watching the rest of your speeches. Have a good day.